Welcome to channel. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon. Hey there, fellow internet cowboys and cowgirls. Let's talk about the digital Wild West, where hackers roam free and your precious Snapchat account is their favorite saloon to raid. It's a scary world out there, and it seems like every day there's a new headline about a massive data breach or some poor soul getting their online life turned upside down. Now you might be thinking, John, I'm just a humble Snapchat user, not some big shot celebrity. Why would hackers even bother with my account? Well, my friend, hackers are like raccoons rummaging through your digital trash. They're not picky eaters. They'll take any data they can get their grubby little paws on, whether it's your embarrassing selfies or your credit card information. But don't worry, my digital compadres, because I'm here to guide you through the treacherous terrain of Snapchat security. We're going to learn about the tricks hackers use to break into accounts without even needing two-factor authentication or one-time passwords. All right, partners, let's talk about two-factor authentication, or 2FA as the cool kids call it. Think of it like the bouncer at the exclusive Snapchat party in your phone. This digital bouncer is pretty strict, and he wants to make sure you are who you say you are before he lets you in. So when you try to log into your Snapchat account, 2FA steps in and says, "Hold your horses, buckaroo, I need some extra proof that you're the real deal." Usually this extra proof comes in the form of a code sent to your phone, either through a text message or an authentication app. You know, those 6-digit codes that make you feel like you're trying to crack a safe every time you log in? Yeah, those things. It might not be the most fashionable accessory, but it could save your digital life. Even if a hacker somehow gets their hands on your password, they still need that second factor, that unique code, to get into your account. So do yourself a favor and enable 2FA on all your accounts, not just Snapchat. Your future self will thank you for it. Now let's talk about one-time passwords, or OTPs, those mysterious codes that disappear faster than your dignity after a night out in Vegas. These little guys are like the secret agents of the password world, here to protect your digital assets from evil hackers. When you enable OTP on your Snapchat account, every time you try to log in from a new device or browser, Snapchat sends you a unique, time-sensitive code. So even if a hacker manages to steal your password, they're still going to have a hard time getting into your account because they need that OTP. It's like trying to sneak into a concert with a fake ticket that expires in 5 minutes. Now I know what you're thinking. John, this all sounds great and all, but you promised to tell us how hackers break into Snapchat accounts without 2FA or OTP. And you're right, I did. All right, folks, let's talk about phishing, the digital equivalent of tricking someone into giving you their house keys by pretending to be the pizza delivery guy. It's sneaky, it's effective, and it's one of the most common ways hackers bypass 2FA and OTP. Hackers create fake websites or emails that look identical to the real deal, like Snapchat's login page, for example. They'll send you an email saying, "Oh no, we detected suspicious activity on your account. Please click here to verify your information." And, like a fish biting on a juicy worm, you click on the link thinking you're being a responsible digital citizen. But here's the catch. That link doesn't take you to Snapchat's website. It takes you to the hacker's cleverly disguised fake website, where they trick you into entering your username, password, and even your 2FA code. And just like that, you've been hooked, lined, and sunk. The hacker now has everything they need to access your account, bypass your security measures, and wreak havoc on your digital life. Section 5. SIM swapping, stealing your digital identity. Hold on to your SIM cards, folks, because this next one's a doozy. It's called SIM swapping, and it's basically identity theft for the digital age. Imagine this. You're going about your day, snapping selfies and sending streaks like there's no tomorrow, when suddenly, your phone goes dead. You check your signal, but nothing. Weird, you think, but then you shrug it off and try to go about your day. Little do you know, a hacker has just hijacked your phone number and transferred your SIM card to their own device. How do they do this, you ask? Sometimes it's as simple as calling up your mobile carrier, pretending to be you, and convincing some poor, unsuspecting customer service representative to switch your SIM card to a new device. And once they have control of your phone number, they have access to everything linked to it. Your bank accounts, your social media, and yes, even your precious Snapchat account. Remember those two-factor authentication codes and one-time passwords we talked about earlier? Well, they're usually sent to your phone number. So if a hacker has your phone number, they have those codes too. Section 6, Malware, the invisible enemy within. All right, let's talk about malware, the digital equivalent of a nasty stomach bug that wreaks havoc on your phone and steals all your data while you're doubled over in pain. Malware is short for malicious software, and it's a catch-all term for any software designed to harm your device or steal your information. Think of it like this. Your phone is like a cozy little apartment, and your data is all the valuable stuff you keep inside. Your photos, your contacts, your credit card information. Malware is like a sneaky burglar who breaks into your apartment and steals all your stuff while you're sleeping. You might accidentally download a malicious app that's disguised as something harmless, like a game or a flashlight app. Once the malware is on your phone, it can do all sorts of nasty things. It can steal your passwords, log your keystrokes, track your location, and even take control of your camera and microphone without you knowing. Section 7. Social engineering, the art of deception. Hold on to your hats, folks, because this next one's a real mind-bender. It's called social engineering, and it's basically the art of manipulating people into doing what you want. Think of it like Jedi mind tricks, but instead of using the Force, hackers use their powers of persuasion to trick you into giving them the keys to your digital kingdom. You see, social engineering is all about exploiting human weaknesses, our trust, our helpfulness, our fear of missing out. Hackers are masters of disguise, and they know how to push your buttons to get what they want. They might impersonate a friend in need, begging you to send them money or click on a suspicious link. Or they might pretend to be a representative from Snapchat, warning you about a security breach and asking for your login credentials to verify your account. The scariest part? Social engineering attacks can be incredibly convincing. Hackers are experts at crafting believable stories, creating a sense of urgency and playing on your emotions to get what they want. Section 8. Public Wi-Fi, a hacker's paradise. Public Wi-Fi, the digital equivalent of a free buffet for hackers. It's convenient, it's everywhere, and it's about as secure as a screen door on a submarine. Public Wi-Fi networks, like those found in coffee shops, airports, and hotels, are often unsecured, meaning they don't require a password to connect. And while this might seem like a godsend when you're desperate for your daily dose of internet, it's also a golden opportunity for hackers to intercept your data and steal your information. Imagine this. You're at your favorite coffee shop, sipping on a latte and scrolling through your Snapchat feed, blissfully unaware that a hacker is lurking on the same network. Section 9. Weak passwords, an open invitation for hackers. Let's talk about passwords, the digital equivalent of the locks on your front door. A strong password is like a heavy-duty deadbolt, while a weak password is like a flimsy screen door held together by duct tape and hope. Hackers have a whole arsenal of tools and techniques at their disposal to crack passwords, from brute force attacks to dictionary attacks. And if you're using a weak password like password 123 or your pet's name, you're basically handing hackers the keys to your digital kingdom on a silver platter. Section 10. The aftermath. When Snapchat privacy shatters. Imagine this. You wake up one morning, grab your phone, and try to log into your Snapchat account, only to find that you've been locked out. Your password doesn't work, your email address is unresponsive, and your phone is blowing up with notifications from friends asking why you're sending them weird messages. Congratulations, my friend, you've been hacked. The digital walls of your Snapchat fortress have been breached, and your privacy is scattered across the internet like confetti after a parade. Depending on the hacker's motives, they could use your account to spread malware, steal your personal information, impersonate you to scam your friends and family, or even blackmail you with compromising photos or messages. Section 11. Protecting your Snap Fortress, Tips and Tricks. All right, folks, we've covered a lot today, from two-factor authentication to public Wi-Fi dangers. Here are some practical tips to protect your Snapchat account from hackers. First, enable two-factor authentication on your Snapchat account. Think of it like wearing a digital bulletproof vest. Use a strong, unique password for all your online accounts. Use a password manager to keep track of them all. Be wary of phishing scams. Don't click on links from unknown senders and avoid entering credentials on suspicious sites. Avoid using public Wi-Fi whenever possible. If you must, use a VPN to encrypt your traffic. Keep your phone's software up to date. Only download apps from trusted sources and review permissions. Stay informed, be cautious, and ask